welcome back to Justlivin Designs podcast. My name is Shannon, Justlivin Designs, hailing to you from Montana. This is episode number 37. It is Thursday, March 27th, about 10 o'clock in the morning. This will come out Friday morning like usual. I always record a day before so I can take time to edit and upload and do all the things the day before. Anyways, this is my podcast that I talk about everything that I've been knitting, and or crocheting. And, I will talk about if I am an independent knitwear designer. So if I have a pattern that's, coming out, I'll talk about that. Some of the designs, or some of the whips or finished objects that I show you will be my own designs, but a lot of them are from other people. And that's what I have this podcast for, to showcase everything. Everything I talk about, I'll try to have linked down below. That includes the yarn, dyers, bag makers, project pages, because I do have project pages for everything that I knit or crochet on Ravelry. What else? I have all my information down below. I am Justlivin Designs on most other things like Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. I'm most active probably on Instagram. And then Ravelry, I'm Justlivin. Or you can find my patterns under Shannon Larson. I do have my pattern page linked down below for Ravelry. I also have them available on Payhip and Lovecrafts for people that can't use Ravelry. My Linktree is down below that has all that information, plus everything kind of is on Linktree as well. If you want links to all the things, it's there. Yeah, let's get into this. Thank you for watching, returning viewers, new viewers, love y'all. Thanks for subscribing, liking, doing all the commenting. I really do enjoy this community. Today I'm going to talk, like usual, finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions, reading, watching life stuff. I'll also try to remember what I'm wearing right away. I am wearing a little bit of knitwear. I always wear socks. I never talk about my socks, but I generally almost always have hand knit socks on because I knit a lot of socks. If you guys have been here, you know this. So we'll get into it. Hand knit sweater today is my April cardigan. I knit this last year. Yep. And this is a pattern by Pitt Knits. I knit it. It's supposed to be like a light fingering with a mohair is how she designed it. I knit it with a sport weight from Woolberry Fiber Co. or Woolberry Yarn Co. I'm not sure exactly, but Woolberry, I'll have it linked, in her Berry Sport. And this colorway was It's Bread. I just love the colorway. It's so great. There are some probably mods, everything. I usually am pretty good about listing any modifications I made. But yeah, this is a nice cardigan. It's good for this time of year. I love cardigans anyways, but this time of year when we're like constantly changing temperatures, it's cool in the morning, but then it's warming up. Like today, it was in the 30s this morning. We're supposed to get to 78 today. But then Sunday, we're supposed to have snow. So, you know, spring in Montana. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so I'm wearing that today. Oh, the other thing I love this t-shirt. I got it for Christmas. It's Please Be Patient With Me. I'm from the 1900s. I love it. I love it. It's funny. Brace the age. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. Let's talk about some finished objects. I have a few. I think the first one I'm going to show you, you guys didn't see. I cast it on shortly before St. Patty's Day, just because I did want to make this gnome. I had the yarn like pulled out for it a while ago, and I just never casted it on. And I wanted it a green gnome for St. Patty's Day or springtime, and so I made him. So this is the Natty, the Unexpected Gnome from Imagine Landscapes. Yeah, and she's the maker of all the gnomes. Right now she does have like a knit along, a year-long knit along for knitting a gnome a month. I'm not doing that. I just wanted to make this one. I've seen it a couple times. You can get it free by going to some sort of website. I don't know. I'll have my project page linked down below. So if you go to that project page, you can click on the name of the pattern, and that will take you to the pattern page. And from there, you can find how to get it. But yeah, this is just made with scraps. I think I have all of them listed on my project page for the most part, but like this is Palette from Knit Picks. This is Stroll Tweed from Knit Picks. I kind of like the tweedy beards. I think they're fun. This is leftover from, it's just, I don't think I have it listed in there, but I think it's leftover from my Cal and Knit design. One of the naturally dyed from Woolly Witch. Yeah, something like that. It's from my You Belong Cal set. I think that's one of the colors. And then this, I didn't have the tag anymore, but I think it's a Lavendale, I think is how you pronounce it, chic blend. My local yarn shop, the Yarn Bar, carries that yarn. I think I bought one skein of it just to play with, and I had broken into it because there was yarn off of it, but not much. And I don't know what I used it for, or if I just swatched it, who knows? But I was like, that'll make a cute little like St. Patty's Day gnome. So he's cute, he's fat. I'll just put him up here to kind of watch us. Next, I'll show you a pair of socks and then my big finish object. So these were my March stash socks. If you've been here before, I did this all last year too. At the beginning of the year, I will put stash sock yarn into brown paper bags, 12, either sock sets or just yarn, into brown paper bags and hide it away. And once a month, I draw from that, and that's just a way for me to ensure that I'm at least getting some yarn out of my stash. I'm doing a lot better about getting yarn out of my stash and knitting older things. But here is a pair that I finished. This is, let's see, it is Flock Fiber Studio, I want to say, in the colorway Patina and Spiced Pecans. It was a sock set that I got. They are a dyer out of Canada. I used the Minecraft socks pattern with my GHFSS sock pattern for the heel. I also changed the pattern to be, this is a 60 stitch count size, so I changed the pattern to work for 60 stitches and to fit over the foot, right? I used the Minecraft sock pattern is free on Ravelry. It's one size only, but you can take that stitch, what would you call it? Stitch chart, stitch repeat, whatever, and throw it into your own sock recipe if you want. And that's kind of what I've been doing with it lately. And I really like these. These are going to be a Christmas gift for a sister-in-law. So yay, another Christmas gift done. Last finished object. I did finally finish my scrappy granny stripe blanket. Maybe if I think about it, I did take a big picture of it while it was laying on my bed drying, and I have a queen size bed and it basically covered the bed. So maybe I'll throw that picture in here. But yeah, it's done. It's big. I don't remember what the dimensions ended up being. I will link the project page down below. I did write down what the dimensions were, finished dimensions, plus how many grams I ended up using of leftover sock yarn. I used about 20 grams per color of leftover sock yarn or minis on this. And I started this project, I think, in 2020. I cast on a lot of things during COVID. And then I put it down. And so like this one, let's see, where's the start of this blanket? So the start of this blanket is down here. The first color was down here. And I think I knit somewhere up into like this region. I'm not even sure, or crocheted somewhere up into this region. and then put it down. And I didn't pick it up until last year in March. And then between that and the end of last year, I finished off basically a whole year, because I started in March and finished it in March essentially. So most of this blanket was knit in a year, or crocheted in a year. So the beginning's down here, and then I'm just gonna kind of keep changing. And then the end is up here. So yeah, it is my wingspan, which I'm 5'6", so it's about 5'6" wide. And then it is tall enough. I kept having my husband lay on the couch and put it over his feet. And it is plenty big enough to go over him and snuggle up around him, especially after I washed it. Because it did grow a little bit. And so it's plenty big. It'll be a good couch and or even bed blanket for a smaller bed than a queen, because it doesn't go over the edges of the bed enough for it to be a bed blanket for our size, but maybe a full size it might be all right. I'm throwing that over there. But yeah, that's a big finished object, guys. Big. Epic finished object. I always like it when I get a blanket off the needles and or hook. All right, whips. I am going to talk about 4 different projects right now. Let's see. Let's do sock whips first. So, was it last week, maybe? Possibly 2 weeks ago, my son relayed to me that he does not really like to wear hand knit socks anymore. He will like around the house, but he doesn't like them in shoes. And so I had started this pair of Christmas socks at the end of December last year, because I just needed a sock whip, and I had already had this yarn caked up because I had tried to knit it for my husband, but it pulled weird for his stitch count. So I was like, well, I'll knit it smaller and my son might like them. So I have one sock done. So what happened is I got it to the point where I thought, okay, it might fit him now, but his feet are growing because he's getting older. He's 12, going on 13. And his feet are really starting to grow a lot because he's growing up in height a lot right now. So I was like, I'm just going to put this on hold and wait until next winter to finish off, like get a measurement on him. Well, when he told me he didn't want hand knit socks anymore, I was like, well, this stitch count that I did would fit both me and my daughter. So I just knit these to our size because we wear the same size sock. We're both about an 8.5 women's, US women's. So I finished off one sock. So this is an old whip that you guys haven't seen for a while. And then here's the next sock that I started again the other day. So this will be done soon. And this was yarn from Whimsical Wood Yarn Co. And it was the colorway You Serious Clark. It is a Cousin Eddie color from Christmas Vacation, and my son loves that movie, so I thought he would like that sock. But again, he doesn't want socks anymore. And then the contrast, I want to say this is Knit Picks tonal, like Stroll tonals. I don't know if they make that anymore or not. But it was, I've used it for a lot of different things. So it's a little bit of a tonal red, but I thought it went well with this colorway. So yeah, and I'm just using my trusty top-down sock pattern. One of my designs that has lots of sizes. It has a traditional heel flap and gusset where the heel flap has a garter edge. And I do have a video on this channel on how I pick up stitches in garter stitch. The video is of one of my like mitered square blankets, but it's the same way I do it for socks too. And this is 1x1 cuff, 3x1 leg, because originally these were going to be for my son and he prefers ribbed, or he did, but so does my daughter and my husband as well. So, and then that is living in a bag. I just had saved it in this bag because it's a Christmassy bag from Fat Squirrel Fibers. I'm a cute like Santa gnomes. All right, next one, sock whip. I started after I finished my March socks. And again, this was yarn I had caked up. So I just picked it up and decided to make a pair of shorties. And again, this is the same pattern, the trusty top-down sock design by me. Again, many sizes. This one I'm making a taller shorty, so it's not like a super shorty, but it's still a shorty. And these yarns are from, let's see, this is the second sock. I'm almost done with the second sock. I have little ways to go. Charm by Charmed and Dangerous. The one on the other sock was, I can't remember the company. It was a gift. It was that little mountain. It was a gift, and I don't remember the company of that one. But this one's Charmed and Dangerous. Hungry Caterpillar. Love it. But this yarn is Old Stash. I bought it back when I worked at a yarn shop. Big Sky Yarn Co. in Bonnie's Apron. There's the label. I'm not even sure if they're dyeing anymore. But yeah, it's her star sock. The main color was Bonnie's Apron. The contrast color is hers as well. I don't know what it is. I don't have a tag for that one, but I know it is Big Sky Yarn Co. because I had a set of this color, this blue color, and then like a tonal gray as well. And the blue and the tonal gray I didn't have tags for. So I don't know what they are. But yeah. This will be done shortly because like I said, it's just a couple more, a little bit more on the foot and then the toe and it's done. So those are my two sock whips right now. Let's see, I'll do my husband's sweater. Bibliophile 3, living in my redesign bag. Oh, and this bag that this whip is in is Barley Pearls. It's my summery spring bag because it's got nighttime like bats and moths and love it. All right, this is redesign number 10 project bag. Love this bag. Great for sweaters. You've heard me gush about it before. But yeah, husband's sweater's coming along. Body is complete. Last time you guys saw it, it was here. So I finished off the body. And I told you guys that I was going to have my husband try it on, figure out how much length he wanted, and then add it to the end of the sweater. And when he tried it on, we needed about 3 inches total. And then I washed and blocked it with it on like try it on tubing, like this stuff that the sleeves on, but I have the longer one for the body. And it did not really grow as much, very much at all. It basically stayed the same. Might have gotten a little wider, but it did not grow in length. So I was like, sweet. So I can just knit the 3 inches that I need. It gets so much softer than, like, here's the sleeve that I started. It's not nearly as soft as where it was blocked. It has better movement, doesn't feel as tight. So I think this will be a lovely sweater. But Bibliophile 3, this is the second time I've knit this pattern for him. It's a Alicia Plummer sweater, and that's how far I'm on the first sleeve. I use the stitch markers to mark decreases. And I'm doing decrease, the rate is changing. So my colored marker here is where I got done with the first rate. Now I'm on the second rate. And I use the Chaogu Minis set, which has smaller cables and smaller needles that are interchangeable. This is the blue set. So it's size US 4 to US 8. And it's working lovely. What else? Oh, yarn. This one is old deep stash from a local Montana maker. This is Ranching Tradition Fiber Arts in her Tobacco Root Valley DK, which is 100% Targhee, Montana raised and processed. So And this colorway is Fur. It's a DK weight yarn. I think it's going to be gorgeous on him. There are some mods that I've already done, like the neck is the big one. And I always have it written what mods on the project pages, which will be linked. But yeah, I am happy that that's going to be done before too long. I mean, he probably won't wear it till next fall, but that's fine. Maybe when we go up in the mountains, he might wear it because it gets chilly up there, but all right. Last whip. So I told you before a few episodes back that when I finished that scrappy granny straight blanket, I was going to pick up this old one that I had cast on even earlier than that one. So this one I cast on in 2018, and it's been sitting up here next to my bed in a basket, and I just never work on it because I don't crochet and watch TV very well. And my thought originally was like, oh, I'll have a project next to me upstairs for when I want to work on something. Well, at night, if I'm actually up here because we do have a TV, I'm in our bedroom right now. We do have a TV in here. Generally, I only watch TV up here at night with my husband if we're watching like a show together. I don't watch by myself, and I'm generally not knitting when I do it. So I don't know what I was thinking. Wasn't very practical. Anyway, so this is my original granny straight blanket that I, again, cast on in 2018. And when I finished that other one, I did pick this up. And so this is where it was at. So this one, there's the bottom. And so that's how long it is right now. And this one is about, is my wingspan as well? Maybe a little bit more than my wingspan because it's dipping down a little bit. So this one's a little bit wider than my other one even was. And I'm just going to go until I run out of yarn because this one is knit with an acrylic yarn. I'll grab a full hank of it. So this is Karen Big Cakes by Yarn Inspirations. It is a 100% acrylic yarn of a long stripe repeat. This colorway is what? Honey glazed is the colorway. And I love oranges, yellows, and grays. And so this one spoke to me and I was like, I'm going to buy enough and make a giant blanket. And so I am using the same general granny stripe pattern, the granny or the Attic 24 one. It is linked in the project page for both of these. But I don't remember what gauge what yarn weight she uses for that. Like that one I did fingering. This one's more of like a worsted Aran. Because this is 300 grams and it's 603 yards for 300 grams. So it's like a heavy worsted to Aran weight, I would say. And I don't even know how many cakes I had originally. After I finished the one that I'm currently working on, I have 2 full ones left to work up, and then the blanket will be done. So like this is the one I'm working on right now. This is how I have it in a big basket, so it just sits there and it doesn't, but yeah, that's where it's at. I am using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and yeah, just working away. It's way quicker than my fingering weight one. Imagine that, because one, there's not nearly as many little clusters in the whole row to do because it's so much bigger, and each row takes way more space because it's so big. But you can hear, see here, the yarn had a break in it, so it changed its sequence a little bit. But for the most part, I'm getting like 2 rows or 1 back and forth row per color with how many I cast on and did. So I love it. It's probably going to be a blanket for my son's bed because He has a dog in his room a lot, and blankets need to be washed often. And this is acrylic. I will have no problem with it being washed and dried. So I think it'd be a good one for him to have in his room. But yeah, this one is going to be, you know, much bigger because there's it folded up and it's probably over halfway done, but I don't really know because I have no idea how many balls I started with of that yarn. And I think you could still buy that yarn. I want to say I bought it at Michael's originally, but who knows? I think Michael's is the one that had Caron cakes. I don't know if they have them anymore. But I think you can still buy them. Like on my project page on Ravelry, when you click on the yarn, it doesn't say it's discontinued. So I think you can still buy that. So yeah, that's all my whips. And then I just have one acquisition to show you, and then I'll talk about reading, watching, and life stuff. Water today. Just feel dry. So I'm going to show you, last episode, I think I showed you my March installment of this club. I am part of the Freckled Whimsies Nature's Palette Club. Freckled Whimsy is a self-striping dyer, and she announced this club a little while ago, and I am very much into browns and neutrals and the colors of nature. That's where my happy place is, not the brights and the pastellies and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I can get on board with this club. We'll see. The first one was a little bit more, I mean, it was in the nature realm, but it was a little brighter than this one is. This one's way more my color jam. But I want to say I got this on Tuesday this week. And this is the April's installment. If you're part of this club and you have not gotten yours, look away if you don't want to see it. But I'm going to show it. And here it is. And I am getting it on, now she has offered it on other bases. I think you can change your base. But this is the Glee base, which is the 90% superwash Targhee, 10% nylon. Very like the exact same base that Michelle of Woolens and Nosh uses, and I love her yarn as well. It's a hard, well, I actually wear through these socks a little bit more than I do my regular merino nylon socks, probably just because there's only 10% nylon in it, so they're not as strong, but I love it. It's so soft and cushy, and they feel warmer than my merino nylon socks do. But this one is called Down to Earth, and it's a 6-stripe repeat. And I do get the mini with it, and her minis are now 25 grams. I love it. So I'm not sure when I'll knit it up, but I do love it. And that's my only acquisition. This month I have had more yarn come in probably than will go out, but I've been ahead for the year, so I think I'll be all right. All right, now on to the non-yarny part. So if you were just here for the yarny, knitting, crocheting, all the happy yarn stuff, thanks for watching. But if you want to stick around for reading, watching, and a little bit of life stuff, that's where we're headed. Reading, I finished listening to on my Libby app, The Inmate by Freida McFadden. It's another Freida McFadden book. It was all right. It's actually better than some of the other ones that I've listened to lately. But again, Freida McFadden, it's a book. I read it. I am still currently reading All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I'm actually enjoying that book a lot more than I was at the beginning. I'm probably about more than 50% done with it now, finally. I have been tired at night, so when I do read, I only probably get in like 10 pages, maybe 15, and then I'm done. So it's taking me a while to get through books. I am listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson on my Libby app from the library. I watched that series on Netflix. The interesting thing is the author is from the UK. The book is set in the United States. The Netflix series is set in the UK. So it's kind of funny because like when you're reading the book, she says things in like UK terminology sometimes where it's like, no, you could really tell you're not from America, but it works for the series because they did set the series over in the UK. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. And then I also am still listening to Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune that I was listening to on my Libby app, and then I ran out of time, so it got returned, but I just got it back. So I am listening to that again as well. We've been watching a lot of stuff. I have been, my daughter wanted to watch a couple weeks back. She's been home more often, and so she wanted to watch romantic comedy. She likes romantic comedies. And so I was like, how about The Proposal? And that's one with my favorite Betty White, Ryan Reynolds, and Sandra. What's her last name? Can't think of her name. Anyways, it's a movie from like 2010 or something like that. It's a while ago that one was made. It's funny. It's dumb. I like it. Me, my husband, and my son have kind of been going through the Lord of the Rings movies slowly. We are on the third movie, but we are watching on HBO Max. They have the extended editions, which we have on DVD. Like our copies of Lord of the Rings are the extended editions on DVD. They're not Blu-ray or anything like that, so they are not as good a quality. And that's how we usually watch it when we watch it, but they had the extended edition on HBO Max, and so we started watching it on there. I will say one thing about it on the because we have an ultra high def TV, and our I think it's ultra high def version on HBO Max. The animation parts are not nearly as good. Like, you could tell the difference in technology. But when we watch it on the DVD, it's like amazing, but not so much on the ultra def. But anyways, the last movie is 4.5 hours long when you watch the extended edition. So it's going to be a while before we get done with that. And then, I don't know why. We watched The Meaning of Life, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. I've seen it multiple times, and my son wants to watch more Monty Python. So we watched that. My husband and I are still finishing up Game of Thrones. Second to last season we're almost done with, I think. I also finished watching The House of Dragon. I had watched the first season and started the second season, and then just never, I only got like one episode, maybe two into the second season, and then just stopped watching it. So I finished watching that as well. Last week, was that Friday or Saturday? One of those 2 days, we watched a family movie. We watched Twisters. It was all right. Not as good as the original Twister, but it was all right. I am up to date on the Pitt. The most recent episode that came out last week was crazy. But yeah, I'm up to date. The next one comes out today. I don't know if I'll watch it today, but watching March Madness, basketball, love watching March Madness every year. And then just last night, my husband and I I started watching it without him and then realized he might like it. So then I rewatched the first episode again. The Resident, it's on Netflix. And yeah, it is kind of like Only Murders in the Building, I would say. It's very similar feel, but it's set at the White House. It's interesting. I've only, like I said, I just basically got into one episode. But yeah, watching a ton of stuff. Life. Right now, for my knitting life, I have a pattern that's out in testing. It is a DK weight sock design. I will probably be releasing that in April. I'll show it once it's closer to release. My son's soccer has started, and my daughter is reffing again this season. So this Saturday, the first game goes on, so she'll be reffing. I don't know. I think the schedule came out for her late last night. I don't think she's looked at it yet to know when she has to be there for reffing. But this year, she can drive, so we don't have to like drive her to and pick her up from these games. She can drive herself. And then my son has his game. He just started practice this week. He didn't have a coach until, well, he did have a coach on his team, but then something happened. I think the coach moved or something. So then we were down a coach and we needed a coach, and the assistant coach stepped up. It's, drama, because this is all like volunteers by parents essentially for the coaching on these. It's a soccer league that's not super, it's not like super crazy soccer league. Anyways, so he had his first practice on Tuesday. He's in co-ed teams now, was last in the spring or in the fall as well, for his age group. So there's boys and girls on the team, and yeah, hopefully it'll be a good season. He loves soccer. Tonight, my son is involved with the drama club at his middle school, and my daughter is one of the high schoolers that runs that club, and they are having an improv show tonight, actually at the high school at the stage. So we'll be going to that. I think my son has to be there early, but my daughter said she was going to pick him up after school to take him there early, so I don't have to even deal with that. So that's bonus. But yeah, so hopefully that should be fun, and that will kind of be the end of his drama club, probably, because a lot of the kids in high school that run that drama club for the middle school are in the high school productions, and they are ramping up the rehearsals and stuff for the musical that they're doing this year, and that is going to be in late April, I think, is when they have their production date set. I'm not sure when in April, but I think it's late April. So yeah. So they need to get that all done. I think that's about everything. It's, like I said, weather-wise, it's up and down. Last week we had snow at some point, I think, a couple of times. And then yesterday we were up in the 70s. Today it's high 70s, I think, we're supposed to get to. And then a front is going to be moving in tomorrow. And we will get... Originally it was supposed to start raining tomorrow, but now it's kind of pushed back to where it's gonna start on Saturday night, and I think it might start with snow, and we're expected to get at least 1 inch of snow on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. It's spring in Montana. We'll get snow all the way till June even sometimes, but we'll also get 100-degree weather in June sometimes. So you never know what you're gonna get. You just kind of roll with the punches. That's why cardigans are great. The kids have to go to school in the morning wearing like a jacket and then shorts in the afternoon because it's so hot. My son didn't wear shorts yesterday, and he had gym in the afternoon, and he was outside all day running, he said, sprinting, and he was hot because it was in the was it mid-70s? It was low to mid-70s yesterday. I'm not sure how warm it was, even though that's not that warm, but when you're used to it being in like the 30s, that is warm. So anyways, I think that's about everything. I hope you guys had a good 2 weeks. I hope you have a good next 2 weeks. And again, I will just say thank you for joining me on this little podcast experience. I do enjoy talking about it. It gives me more drive to get some things done, especially some older things like that blanket that took me 5 years to finish. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your making. I hope you're getting some of your whips accomplished, especially those old ones. Let's get them out. Let's get them done. And I hope you're just enjoying all your making. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.